and dolls. So a couple of weeks ago I asked you to fire your questions at me, all to do with skincare on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. You threw a lot more at me than I can actually answer in just one video, but I'm going to do my best to answer as many as possible and trim out all the fat and try and keep this quite educational and informative and just share a lot of my tips and advice that I've learned along the way. First question is how to diminish hyperpigmentation. And okay, the main thing here is time. It takes time no matter what. It's going to take a certain amount of time, but the good thing is that it does actually go away. Because I'm so pale, I mark extremely easy and my hyperpigmentation does be really angry red or purple. Things that help it along is the use of oils at nighttime. I've just found being really consistent with oils and serums has majorly helped. Vitamin E too, and I use a lot of vitamin E products from the Body Shop that I always show in videos, particularly their face mist and their moisturizer. To give hyperpigmentation a chance to go away, you have to try and stop new hyperpigmentation from happening, so treating the actual acne and spots as you get them, and don't pick. Please don't pick. Next question on Instagram was, are there any other cleansers you use with your Sonicare brush other than the 3-step system for acne? I'm looking for something which isn't specific for acne. Thank you for your question. All of my subscribers will know that I use a 3-step system called Clarigen. I'll probably talk about that a bit more later in the video. And I also use a facial brush by Michael Todd True Organics called Sonicare. I only use that about 2 to 3 times a week now. I used to use it a lot, but then I found out that it's not so good to use brushes every day, but it's amazingly beneficial to use them a couple of times a week for exfoliation, and it gets your skincare product really far into your skin. It is just like a really fancy version of a muslin cloth with a lot of like extra benefits and stuff. If it's out of your budget, don't worry, you can use a konjac sponge or a muslin cloth, but I do have discounts for those skincare brands down below because out of all the different brands I constantly get sent, those were the 2 things that I just kind of ended up sticking with and that worked for me. But to actually answer your question, you can use the brush with any skincare facial cleanser. I love Michael Todd and the Body Shop as brands. So the next question here is about having oily skin, like having very oily skin. And I'm going through that at the moment. I actually have a powder and a brush right here because I keep looking like an oily mess on camera because like the lights is so warm. Yeah, my skin has become very oily recently, but I much prefer that than having dry skin. Like the desert, there's nothing worse than dry, flaky, patchy skin to me, because a lot of acne treatments I was on when I was a teenager made my face just fall apart. What I do for controlling like excess oil when I do get it is more in terms of what I do with my makeup. I think using a toner definitely helps to balance the skin's pH and the sebum production and all that kind of thing. So if you're not using a toner, throw one of those in. An acid toner is very good, like salicylic acid toner. But with makeup, I would always use a really, really, really good primer on my skin and also a really, really good powder. The next question is, what's the best spot treatment I've tried? Acne treatment, again, would be the Clarigen 3-step treatment because that actually tackles acne in so many different ways. But for actual pimples, it's definitely Dream Dots. I have talked about those too, but for new people who are watching, Dream Dots are basically just little patches that you pop onto a spot overnight, and it's made out of the same material that they use in hospitals on wounds. It gives a moist healing environment to your pimple or your blemish, prevents you from picking, and it takes down the redness and the soreness overnight. The product type was really popularized in Asia, but Dream Dots are an Irish brand, so that's why I use them, because I'm Irish. A homemade option would be using Manuka honey on a pimple. It definitely reduces the size and kind of pain of your spots. So if you don't have access to something like Dream Dots, use some Manuka honey. Manuka honey has like, I don't know what it is. Is it like better bacterial fighting stuff? I have one question here about moisturizers for acne and sensitive skin. She says that moisturizers leave her face feeling quite greasy and her problem is with the product not sinking in properly. One thing, if you take away anything from this video, it's that moisturizers should be like the product that you spend the least amount of money on in your skincare. I learned that tip from Caroline Hiron's skincare blog. She is amazing, and if you don't follow her blog, you have got to follow it. She has such good advice. She taught me all about skin serums and skin oils, and a serum will penetrate your skin much easier than a moisturizer will. But the point of putting a moisturizer on over the serum is to kind of shield it and keep it in my favorite serum ever of all time, and it's very affordable, is by Vichy. It's called the Aqualia Thermal, and all the bloggers gone about this, but it's for a reason. I've gone through 5 bottles. 5. I think it's about €25, and it does last quite a long time even if you use it a lot. It's in this little blue potion bottle, and it has a really nice scent, loads of hyaluronic acid, and it makes your skin look amazing. Every night that I use that, I wake up and I'm like, I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad. Someone said that she stopped drinking milk and found that her breakouts kind of went away, but then she started eating mangoes and she started getting breakouts again, and she's wondering if mangoes cause spots. You guys will know that I avoid as much dairy as I can. I'm not completely dairy free because I'm an eating disorder recoverer. I don't like cutting entire food groups out of my diet. It freaks me out and makes me very obsessive. So I just minimize it as much as possible, and I use a lot of the replacements in its place. Why am I doing this? Most of us live off rubbish food nowadays, really processed, genetically modified stuff, non-organic. Gluten and dairy are like some of the main contributing factors to that. But some things like fruits can be to blame as well. Everybody is different, and what you have to do there is keep a very tight skin diary for a few weeks in a row. And if you find that you're eating one thing and you're breaking out a lot, cut it out for 2 weeks. Completely cut it out for 2 weeks and note any changes. And that's how I first figured out whey products containing whey, milk protein, skimmed milk, dairy chocolate, all those things definitely give me spots, and sometimes they slip into my diet. I'm here for a good time, not for a long time, so I want to enjoy my chocolate, but mostly I will eat dark chocolate or dairy free chocolate. A few of you are asking about SPFs. I did a little video recently actually that had a great SPF that I found that smells like watermelon. It's by a brand called Great Skin. I really like that one. Clinique has an amazing SPF, and even the brand Simple do quite a good one. Then one of the questions is about having dry patches and oily T-zone. This means that you have combination skin. So I feel like the one thing that has made my skin very more balanced and less combination and like more kind of all the same is using cleansing balms and oils and things like that on my skin, and in the morning using a really nice balmy cleanser. Some of the really popular ones that a lot of people reach for is the Emma Hardy cleansing balm, the Clinique Take the Day Off balm, which you can use morning or night. Recently I got onto this one and it's stunning. It's the Oskia Renaissance cleansing gel. This is from Space NK, and I know they're known for being very pricey, but I think this is only €35 and it lasts so long. This is a new generation non-foaming facial cleanser that quickly and gently removes impurities and makeup while actively illuminating to reveal clean, radiant skin that feels nourished and smooth. It removes dull skin cells without irritation for a balanced complexion, and balance is the word that you're looking for if you've got combination skin. Also has vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, omegas. It's just full of amazing stuff. But I recommend using things like that because when my skin was really combination and like dry and stuff, using things like those, like balmy kind of cleansers, using hydrating face masks, and then using serum at night definitely helped. We often think we need to avoid moisture to get rid of oily skin, but that's not the case. There's a question here on blackheads, advice on blackheads. Using the Sunny Clear brush has completely eradicated most of my blackheads. That's the brush I was talking about earlier. It's like a Clarisonic, except you don't need to change the brush heads like hardly ever because it can't grow bacteria on it. It's antimicrobial, which is the main reason I love it. If I was using a muslin cloth every day, I'd have to like wash it every day, whereas with this, I don't. But that has really gotten rid of a lot of my build-up of blackheads. But before I had that, I used to just use pore strips regularly, and once you use them properly, they do work and they're kind of nasty. I have a question here from a girl who got rid of her acne and she wants to start using makeup again, but she's afraid that it will irritate her skin and clog her pores and that kind of thing. I get this comment constantly, especially from men on my acne videos, saying all that makeup is what's causing your acne and this, that and the other. It is not, guys. I've asked so many skincare specialists about this. Makeup doesn't cause acne. You have to remove it at nighttime, double cleanse. Cleanse once to remove your makeup, then cleanse your skin. It's a 2-step process. Yeah, I have genuinely used so many different foundations. You will know if you watch my makeup videos, and my skin is still clear now. Usually when it breaks out, it's to do with really high stress levels, and I am a very anxious person and I get stressed out really easily and I go mental. I don't handle stress that well sometimes, and then other times I'll be doing my yoga, I'll be going for my walks, I'll be deep breathing. If you're applying makeup, use a primer. That will be like a step kind of between to protect your skin from your makeup if you're really worried about that. But just make sure you thoroughly cleanse at nighttime, and I promise you shouldn't see like issues or anything like that. And if you're still too nervous to try, definitely go with Bare Minerals or a more natural makeup brand like that, like a mineral makeup brand, because they've got less ingredients in them and they're generally known for like actually helping your skin in some way. Now you have to click here to watch part 2.